And I say, got it, got it.
Yep. All right. So we're recording. Okay. So hello, everyone. My name is Deborah York, and I welcome you to Kingdom Celebration Chat, where I get the privilege to celebrate my sister, Denise Rojas. So,
Yes. Hi, sis.
hi,
It's
sweetheart.
really fun to see you through a Zoom.
I know. I know.
Thank
I
you for
know.
asking me to do this. I'm honored.
Well, I'm honored too. I'm so excited to just share with everyone who you are, and and what you're doing, and just how God is blessing you and moving you through things. And so you are I've known you all of your life.
You better you don't have to you can say how old I am, because I mean we've known each other for a very long time. A very long time.
Yes,
Although
I
I do
do.
want to make sure everybody knows that you are my older sister.
Oh, yeah.
And although you do come across like you're super youthful and young and younger than me many times, so I don't mind. But yes, now
Oh,
that I'm in my 50s,
yes. We'll leave it
I have grown a lot of wisdom through my years being around, and I do appreciate you being my older sister. I have
there.
very fond memories of you as a kid, when mom and dad were working and you were there to make sure that I was doing my chores and hanging out with your friends. I've had many fun memories of our childhood together.
Oh, that's beautiful. Me too. Just thinking back of the silliness and the giggling.
The laughing fits and the cute little some of the just the simplest fun, pool parties, Christmas parties,
Yeah,
watching Creature Feature, you remember, on Saturdays, and
yeah,
we've had some many good wonderful times together.
yes, yes. Singing and dancing and coming up with routines.
I don't know how
Silly.
we did that, because nowadays I'd be like, really? I don't think we
Of
could do that now, but back then we were so into it.
course,
Just
it was a little
simple and
corny,
routine.
but it was wholesome fun.
It was simple. We didn't have the internet. We didn't care about phones and computers. It wasn't like that. We got out and
Mm.
we would play, even though we didn't really play because you were older and I was a little bit more with mature girls. But there was a trampoline and bike rides and just
Yes.
neighborhood little gatherings with friends, and it was really awesome.
Roller skating and bicycling and putting our
Oh
dolls
yeah.
in the basket of our bicycles and coming back home when the street lights came on.
It was awesome. Yeah.
Yes, it was.
We got really good at jump roping too. I don't know how, how you can merge in and start doing it while I don't know stuff like that. I don't think I could do now, but back then it was nothing.
Yeah,
And go in the pool. We would stay in the pool all day long.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. It was a
Yeah. We
lot of
would make our
fun.
own fun.
We would make our own fun, and it was
We didn't
wholesome
have we didn't
fun.
have we didn't have to go anywhere or do anything. We just used our creativity, and it was,
Creativity.
yep. Yeah. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Well, I just remember, also too, just the creativity that you have. And you're gifted with art and painting. Remember the shirts that you
Yes.
created, sweater
Yes.
designs with the designs with the
That was before any of that even really existed. Yeah, stuff like that.
now
It
it's
was it
all
was fun. It was fun.
yeah. Well, you are gifted in so many ways, my sister. And I think of you and I call you
Thank you.
sweets. I noticed I do that often, where you are just my sweets, and I appreciate you as my
Oh,
sister. And so,
so
yeah.
sweet. It's wonderful to say, you are my one and only sister. I mean, it's a delight to know that, yeah, I have you in my life, and we go back quite a long way. We know each other quite
Yes.
well, and it's really something to share that. And I've seen you blossom into such an amazing, wonderful person from everything that you've been doing. I just get so amazed and tickled how you can do your public speaking and everything that you do. It humbles me, because I had to do that public speaking thing last month, and I thought I was gonna just die of anxiety. I thought for sure I was gonna die. I was like, oh my gosh, I don't think I could do this. And you gave me good advice, and then I was like, you know what? Okay, I can do it. That's how I came up with my theme. And I
Yes.
didn't have a script. I just spoke from the heart, and it worked out.
It always does when we just show up and step into it and open our mouths, and outcome God will put in what needs to be spoken and said. And that's really, too, why I wanted to celebrate you, because I just love what God is doing. So you are, and we'll go into that. I wanted you to share, because I have this beautiful plaque.
Aw.
And this is what you gave out to everyone when you
I
spoke
did.
last month. So I want to I would love for you to share that as well. But I love that you recently became a realtor.
I did.
And
I did.
you did. And that inspired me, Denise, because I know you worked very hard at studying and, preparing yourself for that test, and how, I just saw courage. The brave is my word for this year.
I
And
see that. Yeah.
and I see so many women stepping into being brave and walking out some really hard things that God has led them to step into, to even step out of, in some circumstances. But you have stepped into becoming a realtor. And so why don't you share a little bit about that experience? Because that was encouraging.
Well, when I made that choice to do something, I was like, once I got in it, I was like, on in the studying and preparing, I had no idea what I was getting myself into. It wasn't just getting a license; it was the challenges along the way that was strengthening me to be able to achieve my goal. Overwhelm and feeling test anxiety, think everything you can imagine, all the fears and worries and doubts, thinking that I couldn't do something. And I put my mind to it and I did it. And then once I got my license, then I really had to learn everything about being in communications with people and deals and everything you can imagine. It was like overwhelming every day. I felt like I was having a panic attack every day. And I still am overwhelmed, but it's getting better. So getting out of your comfort zone, um,
Yes.
accepting offers to do a public speaking thing that you never would ever want to do. And I did. I've been doing things on a daily basis that I never thought I could do. So yes, I am a realtor. I'm very proud. I'm with Keys to the Bay Real Estate, commercial and residential. I have done several deals already that I found through even your area, because I know that area quite well, in Zephyr Hills area. And they were for sale by owners, and I approached owners and they were like, okay. And I'm like, okay, I'll list your house. And sure enough, I was able to do it and close them. And so every day, every step of the way, it's been an interesting learning curve. And the most important thing is I'm really happy to help people. So I'm in
Yeah.
it to help people and help achieve their goals. It's not just, I'm achieving goals along with them. I'm following into what they want to do in their lives. It's a very difficult choice that they're making,
Mhm.
financially, emotionally,
Mhm.
everything. It's big. It's big. It's really big deal in every aspect of life. So they trust me, and I end up making some really wonderful life friends out of it too. I'm really honored.
Well, it's only been a couple of months too that you got your license, and how you've been able to just, step into this and be able to share, and that is really, just knowing you, all your life, just knowing you've always been someone who's been caring, and and you're very attentive to others and their needs, and you have that quality about you, Denise, that is beautiful, in the sense
Thank
that, yeah. And so for you to step into this, and for God to use you in this way to connect with people and to become friends with them because yes, they trust you, because
Yes,
that is a huge decision. There's a lot of
it is.
financing involved in transitioning.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
It's hard to believe, but I've already had my license. We're going on almost a year now. I got it at,
wow.
I know, I mean, fast. So I ended up starting the class and doing everything online. I didn't go in a in-person type of environment. I like the idea of replaying, and I mean, that's how I learn, is by continuously redoing something and, repetition. So anyway, yeah, it was about this time last year that I started studying for that. And it was beginning of the year that I actually got my license. It really hasn't been, it feels like it's been forever, but it's almost a year going on.
Wow.
I
Well,
know.
and but what really inspired me was the dedication to the commitment to
Yeah, I'm
study,
like,
even though it was so hard.
I
Just
mean, I really didn't want, I wanted to quit. I mean,
I
I
know,
wouldn't allow myself to. But I would, and there's many days where I'm like, dang, I don't know if I want to do this, but I'm in it, and I'm not going to quit.
yeah,
And
that's
that's with everything in life. And it's not just me. I think everybody can relate to something that what I'm
yes,
going through. The only thing I can say is that when you're younger, people can maybe adjust a little bit easier, but as we get older, it gets harder. I
mm,
need reading glasses to be able to see now. But I mean, that's when I first started realizing, like, I think I need some readers because I can't see. I couldn't read. I was having more and more problems with like comprehending. I think it's life gets
yeah,
wears us down a little bit, and
mhm,
also psychologically, the thoughts and the mindset is what we have. And if
yeah,
we put self-doubt and negativity,
yeah,
the outcome definitely will be, it's going to be a lot harder.
yeah. Yeah, and that's what I admire, just the dedication and your persistence to just keep it moving, keep going, even when it felt hard. Because I know we would talk or you were studying or at the library and
Oh my
putting
God.
in just the work. But the Lord rewards, the dedication and he put that upon your heart and he gave you an opportunity to step into and from a spiritual perspective I could see his hand in all of that
Oh
and
my
and yeah, and I can still see it, Denise. His hands is on you, and
God.
that whatever doubt or the insecurities that come up for, like you said, all of us, because we all face those hard things and we can either shrink back or move forward. And I saw that in you,
Oh,
that
thank
you did
you.
not you didn't you persisted, and you're learning as you go, and so
I
as we all
I
are.
prayed. I have prayed when I was going through it, for divine intelligence to help me, and I believe that that's what got me through my test. I didn't want to have to go through taking it several times. I wanted to just get it done the
Yes.
first. So when
Mhm.
I looked at the exam, and it is very intimidating when you have to go through these state exams. It's
Yes.
nerve-wracking. I felt like I was being guided. I
Oh.
do. So this was something that I was probably meant to do, because it feels like,
Mhm.
I was put into like a little bit of a safety bubble,
Mhm.
spiritual, that made me get to where I'm at right now. And
Yeah.
I'm not overwhelming myself. I don't have many things on my plate. I have just enough to get me going, and keeping myself
Busy.
going. So I'm happy with the progress.
Well, good. Well, good. Well, that there's definitely a testimony in that, in not letting fear distract you or take you out. You kept your focus, um and that was very clear to me as you
I
were
did.
you were going through this. Well, and it led what
Yeah, I mean, that's awesome that, that's what it's all about.
yeah, and it led you, to speak in October with the group that you're a part of, the
I
team that
am.
you're a part of, the real
I
estate
am.
that you're a part of, and you felt led to share on being thankful and grateful. And so you want to share a little bit about that experience?
Yes. Okay. So my broker is Madeline Russo, and I knew her before I became a realtor, but
You were friends.
so I had no idea I was going to be doing what I'm doing. We would walk and talk, and she was just, there to be a really good mentor. But she also started a group last year, a network marketing called Bright Ideas Group.
I
And I
like it.
remember these people giving me good advice. I was still doing my business at the time, and I still do now, but it's taken a little bit more of a backseat of real estate. So I was doing, like, I was representing the solar industry with videos and how to do like a DIY type of projects using the sun. So all these wonderful people in the professional world that was part of this group, they knew me back then. And then when I was, it's not a very long process. It was just within a year, I said, I'm going to do something. And so they've seen a transition, but I truly did, find everybody so wonderful with their mentoring and their advice. And I was very grateful to everybody. And so when I was thinking about this, I had about 2.5, 3 weeks going, wow, what am I going to say? What am I going to do? And then I was like, okay, let me go ahead and write this formal script out. I'm like, nah, this isn't for me. And I remember telling you my things of what I was supposed to do and how it, and I didn't know it. Basically, it all evolved like within 2 or 3 days before I had to do the speech, and it just flowed. I knew exactly what to do. I had plaques like what you had, but I had grateful and thankful. And I knew I was going to put a positive affirmation on the back of each one and randomly give them out to everybody. And the whole idea of my presentation was, yes, I am a realtor, and my broker had introduced me, and she told everybody about what I do, and as a realtor, because that was the whole purpose of it also. And then on a more of a personal level, I was like, you know what, thank you, and I am grateful. And I selected almost everybody in the room. There was about maybe 35 people, 40 people there. And I was able to individually thank them all. And I think they quite were touched, because not only was I thanking them, at the end, they were thankful, and they were sharing their plaques and what it meant to them. So one person can do something, and it leads to an entirely, it opens up the doors to all these neat things that can evolve.
Mhm.
So it wasn't just like this formal
Mhm.
meeting of, of network marketing, although everything that we do is really awesome. But for me, I felt as if I was touching everybody's lives on a level that I would say my words were chosen. I was guided in the right direction, how I was supposed to do this. And I don't really even think it was me. I believe it was some sort of higher power of just being and allowing myself to just allow whatever was going on. Of course, I was nervous, and it didn't stop me. The words just flew out of my mouth. So it was really interesting. I
Yeah.
don't have other public speaking things going on. So, we'll see what the future has in store. But if I had to do it again, I would be fine with it. So
Yeah.
overcoming obstacles was really serious. I know I had a phobia of public speaking, and that was not fun to overcome that,
Mhm.
but I did it.
Yeah,
A
and
lot of
that's
people
really a phobia. Speaking is really, I think it's like the number one of the biggest
horrible.
fears. It
Yep,
is.
it is
It
horrible.
is. But I think that when and I understand that, you can write things out and write things down, and I know it's the Lord that changes things up, and he has us just to do what he's called us to do. So he guided you through that, but because he opened up your heart just to speak from your heart,
Yeah.
when we
Mhm.
speak from our heart, we don't even need the notes. It's within you. It's
Yes.
totally within your heart.
Yes.
And you just shared what you were meant to share. It's a part of who you are. And so, and just being thankful and grateful, like mine on the back says, you are worthy of great things. Well, I received that in Jesus' name. I
Aw,
am. And,
it's
and,
true.
and so are you. And so are all the
Thank
others who,
you. Yeah,
yeah,
we all are. We all are deserving of wonderful things in life. We are.
yes,
And
yes.
but we have to believe it too. We have to love ourselves and support each other. But it is true that, yeah.
Yeah, and that is so good because I'm doing that 90-day devotional. It
I'm
just
so
what you just said reminded me of this.
I
Um,
love it.
I
Love it.
know,
And
I know.
what's interesting is right around like 9, I usually go, "Oh my gosh, my sister." And I like that it's short, sweet, simple. And I don't know if everybody else is thinking the same thing, but there's times and I'm like, wow, she's talking to just me because this is what I needed today. So I'm sure everybody is feeling the same. Your message is quite touching. And I feel like I'm connecting with you and you're speaking to me on a personal
Mhm.
level.
Wow. Well, that blesses me because with that, I'm just following the Lord's leading to show up, read the devotional, and then share what He drops in my spirit to share. And so what comes out is just really what I feel, what is within me. And the same thing when you're speaking to a group of people,
Yeah.
what's it's just you're pouring out what's already in you. And so, but it just reminded me of what you said, to appreciate yourself. Because we can come from this place of that self-doubt and being insecure and walking in fear, and that's why that my brave is a reminder and who we are, and pushing through those silly messages that we hear that are lies, and
Oh, they're
really
totally lies.
they
They're
are.
totally lies. Totally.
Yes.
We
Yeah.
are, yes. And I'm starting to distinguish this more. I
Good.
understand it.
Yeah, because we there's so much potential, and that all of us have, the people that are tuning in, that we all have, that we don't even step into because we don't believe that we can, or we don't see that in ourselves. And so just being able to, speak to the influence that you carry, Denise, because I can see it. And
Oh,
so, and I
and I
see
see
that.
it. I see it in you, sis. I mean,
Oh,
this just didn't just happen. I mean, like you were meant to do what you're doing, and to see the progress and how you've been going about this direction, I find it really exciting.
thank
It's
you.
really sweet. I really, I mean it. You were meant to do this for sure.
Thank you,
You-
sweetheart.
You're a total
Well,
gift.
I
Appreciate you.
thank you. And it's just to be able to see that special, those special qualities in people, and to be able to see it and to call that out of people is just it. I think that's cheering them on, that's linking arms with them, that's standing with them, helping them step into what they're meant to step into. So
Yeah.
you
Oh, we
know
all need encouragement. We all need we all need that. Yeah.
yeah,
But we also need to believe it and not just hear it, but feel it and know it that it's the
yeah,
truth. Mhm.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. And I've been speaking about that that so much because with the Bible, we can read it, or we can hear the sermons, or we can hear it or read it, but it needs to go from intellectually hearing it, or reading it, to actually experiencing it with your heart. And that makes everything just so much, that brings it to life. So,
Mhm.
so I'm just,
It's sorry. Go ahead.
I'm just so proud of you. So I wanted to celebrate you.
Well,
And
thank you, sis. I'm so proud of you too.
you're so, well, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
I'm very
you.
proud of
Thank you. I wanted to, is there anything else that you would like to, to add, or to share or just to
Um,
encourage our sisters here that are going to tune in because they will?
well, I find it really, I'm very flattered that you asked me. And then at first I was like, well, why? Why does she want to do this? And I'm like, oh, okay. I have something to offer. But
Yes.
what's humbling is that I really know that I have something to offer nowadays. And it makes me feel good.
Yes.
It makes me feel good to know that I was like, "Oh, okay. Oh, okay, you wanna talk about yeah, we could do this because I'm starting to understand that I have something to offer people, and it
Yes.
makes me feel good. It makes me feel, like I'm loving myself a little bit more every day. I'm
Yeah.
changing, growing, spiritually, like, it's like last month feels like it was a year ago. Last year feels like it was ages ago. It's hard to believe I'm almost going on a year having my license, but from month to month, even day to day, things are different. I'm a
Mm,
different person than I was last week. Something that
yes.
would be bothering me or feeling overwhelmed, I would be like, ah, I got this now. And what I'm realizing is that all the things that I feel are out of my control, um, I have to really be careful that I don't fall into that feeling or that pattern that I'm fears and worries and doubts. And
Mhm.
God and going towards like the light means that you don't have to be fearful of
Mhm.
the worries,
Mhm.
that protection. And
Mhm.
when you're into the negativity, that's when you're going more towards the dark part. And that's what's drawing some of that out. It's messing with it's the lies you're telling
Mhm.
yourself. We have to overcome that. But I mean, on a very spiritual, religious level, I'm starting to understand it too.
Good. Yeah. Yeah. I always feel like it's that pit. It's that place of default that we fall into, like the old
Oh,
patterns, the old way of
oh yeah,
thinking. And
yeah.
if we don't keep our eyes, fixed on, the Lord, and we're going to slip into that place of default, and then we'll step into believing, or what we've overcome will fall back into that anxiety and that crazy place of that heaviness, because we're not, because we have an enemy that doesn't want us to grow and flourish and achieve, and so you are destined for beautiful things. And so I
Aw.
I wanted to celebrate what I believe God is doing in your life, and how He's removing the lies, replacing it with His truth, because His
Yeah.
truth is what sets us free. And so He is the light, and He shines bright on you. So you just keep
Thank
your
you, Debbie.
focus. Yes, you keep your focus on, because there's a scripture that he's been showing me: arise and shine, for the glory of the Lord is upon us. I've been sharing that, and I see that among us and among our friends, um for his light is shining really, really bright, especially in our dark world. And so he's shining bright through you, Denise, so you keep your
Love that.
focus.
Thank
And
you.
yes, and you keep saying yes to the hard things that
So
that
I'm starting to understand. We talked about this because sometimes I would have a heavy heart with closed doors, opening
Mhm.
doors not opening, doors closing. People sometimes you try so hard to do things and please people, and
Yes.
it won't work,
No.
and doors will close. I don't
That's
know.
right.
What is that scripture where like the doors are opening? How many more doors open as they close? I forget how that goes. Do you
God,
remember?
there's a verse that says that God opens doors that no man can close. So he opens up doors that nobody can close. And
Yeah.
he closes doors that are meant to be closed as well. So
So now I'm starting to, instead of question it, I'm starting
yes,
to I'm starting to embrace it, that you cannot force people to do things. You can't force people to like you, do business with you, and those are the type of people that you probably wouldn't want to do business with anyway or be friends with. somebody doesn't want to be a part of your life, that's a good indicator that it's okay if they want to leave and the doors close. And it doesn't happen often, but I'm just saying, just in general, like in
Yeah.
the past, that would ruin my day. Now I'm like,
Yes.
well, you know what? We could try to make this work out, but you just can't make everybody happy in life. The most important thing is to make yourself happy first. And everybody's going to feel it. If you're happy and you have self-love and respect, other people will have that too for you.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's a really good point because people pleasing is huge, and
And
desiring that.
it's a big part of sales and, doing business with people.
Yeah, yeah, and I know we've talked a little bit about this before, that if a door is closing, it's okay, because I always look at it like, if the door closes, it can be devastating in some ways,
Oh,
because
it's horrible. It's very hurtful
yes, but
on a level, because sometimes you don't really even know why. And
exactly.
not everybody's going to explain, or maybe they don't even know. Just sometimes things aren't meant to be, and you have to just accept things,
Yes.
accept it. So you've helped me, because we've had this conversation. We've had many of these conversations where Deb, I'll tell you what's happening, and yeah, most of the time it's like you just let it go, and if it's not meant to be, it's not going to be.
Yeah, and it's no reflection. It's like that there's that spirit of rejection that wants to attach itself to us, that makes us feel rejected, and we sink low and down and depressed, and we get down on
Yeah,
ourselves, and it's just like, wait a minute. God, Lord, if you're closing that door, thank you. Because that just means,
you've told me that, and it's actually starting to finally sink in.
yeah,
Starting to
oh,
feel better about it, because I was so sensitive about that. That's
yes.
probably one of the weaker feelings of ickiness that I'm overcoming.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing that, because that's not,
You're welcome.
there's a
So
lot.
when I catch what you're doing in the morning, I'm like, there's my sis. But a lot of the times I really need what you're saying. I can't remember. There was one time we talked about it over lunch. I'm like, I don't know how you did it, but you nailed it on it. You talked about, it was for me that one day. It was a total, I can't even remember now, but it was a very meaningful thing
Mhm.
that I had to have, and you were a messenger for me
Oh,
on that day, for sure.
well,
And I guarantee other women are thinking the same thing.
yes. And it's amazing because every day, I mean, I didn't write this, but it's like it's written for us for the particular day. And
That is
um,
awesome.
and it is awesome. So because God knows what we need.
Yeah.
So just being, so thank you, that was huge, because we can easily feel that rejection, and or that, why is that door closed, or what happened, what went wrong, and it's just like, what, thank you, Lord, for closing that door, because when he closes a door, that just means another door. He's got something better.
And I do have to add to this. Sometimes you can think doors are closing and people just have things going on.
Exactly.
And when they come back and they explain, sometimes you may just misunderstand things, because
Yes.
we're in a communication world where there's the
That's
obvious,
good.
and
Yeah.
then there's the reading between the lines, and you don't really know what is happening. And the best choice is just give people some room to
Mhm.
think or do what they got to do, and they usually come back if it's meant to be, where they want to have you and do something, business or even friendship, whatever. It doesn't matter what it is. They'll approach you. It's
Yeah.
better to just let things, be, and see where it goes. But I have caught myself going, oh, I was I'm okay saying that I'm wrong. I like knowing that, oh, okay, I was wrong. I assumed, or I was thinking
Wow.
the worst, or, okay. So my patterns in the past were to give me some of the negativity going. You want to think the best of everybody, and
Mhm.
allow them, if they do have things that they're working through or whatever, then let them be. And if they come back and they do. So
That's huge. That's huge because that's a, that's actually, and I get that because I have to, I talk to myself in that way. I pray to the Lord in that way. Lord, help me to see, or help me not to pursue some, assume
You
something,
mean,
or
you mean
or
I could be helping, I'm helping you too,
yeah,
right?
you're helping the women that tune in, because that's true, that we can have a perception, or we could see that's the thing, that's a healing that's taken place within the heart. So for you,
Right.
for instance,
Yeah.
for not, to pursue, to perceive, to perceive something as a rejection, and you're letting it go, is really just the healing that God is
So,
doing.
so the more we love ourselves, the more other people are going to feel it.
Well, because we set healthy boundaries, we
Yeah.
appreciate the women that God created us to be.
Self-respect. Yep. I get it.
Yeah, and
I get it.
we help teach other people how to treat us. And if
Right.
we appreciate who we are, we're going to have a healthy sense of boundaries. And so, and that's all good. And
Yeah.
he's healing hearts. God is doing that among many people, and we're always a work in
Oh,
process.
definitely.
Nobody arrives.
Oh, definitely. And we're
So
all doing something and maybe on a different level, but it's about the same and just in
yes,
different ways.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
So let's say two people or three people are having a bad day. Obviously, it might actually be a problem. You think about it, communication may not be right. It happens. We're
Yeah,
just all, I'm starting to just understand.
good.
We're human.
Yes,
We're all just going through this together in different ways, but it's
yeah.
complicated because nobody really understands sometimes what they're even feeling, let alone other people that are in stores moody or whatever. I mean, how many times you go somewhere and you just get that feeling of anxiety and being around people,
Well,
or the store environment, something catches you wrong and it just makes you feel grumpy, and you don't really even understand it, but it just happens. I think it's
yes,
just life, and you feel all the stuff that you don't understand. So there's
yes.
obvious communication, and what really throws me off is the stuff that's not totally clear. It's the implied things that you're picking up on between
Hmm.
vibes, energy, who knows? And
Hmm.
we could be right, which I have a feeling we probably are most of the time, and then maybe
Hmm.
we're off a little bit too. It's hard to say.
Yeah, and then that's a lot, like you just said, the communicating with our, phones and text messages and things like that are unclear. You don't know
Yes.
where somebody, their tone might be so completely misunderstood if you're talking to them on the phone or in person. So it's
Yes.
really tricky in that way. That's why we just have to be really
Yes.
able to communicate and learn what somebody else means. And is this how I understand it, so that we understand correctly? um but
Yeah.
also too, and I wanted just to touch on this as well, and I've said this to you before, you have a prophetic gift, and it's just learning what that gift is, that you
Sometimes
to
it's
be, but that feeling, the seeing, that's a spiritual, that's a gift. And so learning how to not have that, learning how to move in that is a way to steward that gift, well. But yeah, I see that on you, and so, and I have,
I
and
would
that's what.
say sometimes it's not always a great thing. I don't understand it. And how does somebody truly know if they are feeling things? You don't totally know.
Well, the
You
the Lord, it's just, it's discernment, and the Lord, and there's a lot to that, in the sense of learning it. But I believe that what you feel, is really, to press into that, and to learn, okay, what is this, what is this, because and you're very sensitive towards people, you pick up on things, and and you are in tune, I've seen it, their hearts. So it's a beautiful gift. And
I think
so yeah, and I see that over.
you have it too, Debbie. I can feel it.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, so
So what's interesting is when I've seen you do your events in person,
Yeah.
there's a lot of energy, and it's quite unique and special.
Thank
And I'm
you.
so sad I wasn't able to make your last one at your house. That would have been
Oh,
really fun. I'll have to do that next time. But I
oh,
saw the pictures. It looked like it was amazing, Debbie. And I'm so
thank.
proud of you because you've been doing that consistently where you're doing your events. What is it, every 2 months or every month?
It's
I think it's
not
every,
really, yeah, like every month, every 2 months. So,
yeah,
yeah. So
very cool. Love it.
thank you. Thank you. But yeah, we had a nice day the other day. I gave out sunflowers, beautiful
Aw,
sunflowers, and they
oh,
were just so beautiful, these flowers. And so,
oh,
and that's really, I feel like that's my signature flower because the Lord was showing me that the face of the flower is just so magnificent, and they represent us, his daughters. You know, the face is beautiful, and the face of the flower looks up to the sunlight, but he was showing me that that our faces look up to the sun, which is Jesus. And so I gave out the flowers, and we had a nice day. We had a very
nice.
nice day.
That
Thank
sounds
you.
awesome.
Thank
Mhm.
you. Thank you. Well, sweetie, is there I want to pray over you. Is there anything else though that you'd like to add or just to share?
Um, no, I don't, I'm not sure. Yeah, I think we may have covered it. Or is
Okay.
to be, what's gonna happen is we'll continue over the phone at a later
Yeah.
date.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure there's so much more we could be talking about.
Yeah.
Um, I just get this feeling that everybody that's tuning in really feels your energy, and they love that you are touching their hearts. So
Mhm.
that's what I wanted you to know. I think
Thank
you're really quite amazing at what you do on all levels, and it's incredible. So I'm very proud of you.
Oh, well, thank you. Well, thank you. Well, I celebrate you as well. And I just pray that the Lord continues to, I'm thankful for you, thankful for my plaque, and just thankful for what I see and what I see God doing in and through you, and how he's moving you, and how he's removing the lies and replacing it with truth
Yeah,
that sets you
yeah,
free to step into
yeah.
the woman that he created, and who you truly are, and how, what your gifts are, and how to cultivate those gifts, and to walk in the fullness of what he has for you. I just pray that he just um, blesses you beyond measure, Denise.
Thank
um,
you. Thank you.
his good, what you put your hands to, you're blessed by. What you create with him, you're blessed. Friendships, divine connections in Jesus' name.
Oh, thank you. I like that.
Yes,
I like that a lot.
yes. I
I've
just,
made some really awesome connections with people too. It's
yeah.
really quite special. I feel like I'm coming out of a shell and blossoming like in that.
Yes,
I can't explain it, but it's quite scary and rewarding process, this growth and
yes.
development of where I'm at. I really feel like I'm stretching every bit of my capabilities at times. And I'm sure I've told you, you've helped me many times when I have been feeling overwhelmed. And once I talk to you, I'm like, okay, thank you, I got this. I'm gonna have many more of those moments, but it's getting better.
Good.
So thank you.
You're so welcome. And what you said, I could see that flower, and it's opening up and blossoming. So
Yeah,
yes, that's a beautiful
yeah.
description.
Thank you.
So, well, I thank you, and I just again pray the blessings of the Lord over you. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. I just
Amen.
wanted to, you're welcome, sweetheart. I just wanted to celebrate you and all the goodness, and we can
Oh,
definitely plan another one of these to jump on and just continue to
oh,
share. But I thank you for sharing what you did share, and
I
again, I'm
appreciate it.
excited.
Thank you. It was very
You're
easy. How could I not? I mean, you asked me, I'm like, okay, I'll
yeah.
do this.
Well, good. Well,
It
good. Well,
made my day brighter. Thank you, sis. Love
you,
you.
I love you too, sweetheart. I love you too. So thank you everyone who tunes in, and this will be on YouTube as well. I'm gonna put this out on
Oh,
YouTube.
wow.
So
Oh
we
my
just pray,
goodness.
yeah, whoever sees this is blessed and encouraged, and that is what our plan is, and that everyone is just I just pray the blessings of the Lord upon you all. So thank you, and we will see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.